Hello Year 2 and welcome to Thursday's English lesson. Now, I hope you all got on well with your story writing yesterday. You should have all written your story of the Billy Goat's Gruff. Now, just as our starter for today, what I'd like you to do is to get your story that you wrote yesterday and set yourself a 5-minute timer, or have a look at the clock and set yourself 5 minutes to read through your work from yesterday, read it out loud to yourself, and have a think about any edits that you can make. Think to yourself, have I used the always success criteria? So thinking about things like your handwriting, your spelling, using your letter formation, your capital letters, your full stops, all of those things that we check when we are editing our work. Now I have put green pencil editing, but you may not have a green pencil at home. And if you don't, that's absolutely fine. So if you've written it in pencil, you may be able to grab a pen and do your editing in a pen. If you have done it on the computer, you might be able to do your editing in a different color. It is completely up to you how you do it, but just do that for the next 5 minutes now. So pause the video and then start to do that. Right then, on with today's lesson. So let's have a look at our learning intention. So today we are going to be finding the features of a Defeat the Monster tale. Now, we've done lots of lessons like this before, but I just want you to have a little think before we start. What are features? So if I said to you, I want you to find the features of this text, what does features mean? So pause the video, have a little think, what does features mean? Okay, so if we're thinking about the features that we've looked for in the past, let's think back to autumn when we were finding the features of a traditional tale. It was things like story openers, like Once Upon a Time. It was things like adjectives. It was things like adverbs. There was also a good character and a bad character. There was text in there. So those are all different things that make up that text, and they are the things that the author includes, and that's what makes it that genre of text. Okay, so today we are going to be looking at the features of a Defeat the Monster tale, so that over the next few weeks, when we start to write our own Defeat the Monster tale, we know the sorts of things that we need to include in our writing. So let's have a little go at finding some together. Okay. Now, here you can see I have got on the screen for you the text of Billy Goat's Gruff. Okay, so we're going to read this through together, and then what we're going to do is have a go at looking at some of those features together. So if you would like, you can pause the screen and you can have a go at reading it yourself first. Okay, let's have a little go at reading that together. So you can read it with me. The Three Billy Goats Gruff. Once upon a time, there were 3 Billy Goats Gruff who lived in a field in a green valley. They loved to eat sweet green grass, but sadly, their field had become brown and barren. Early one morning, they went to look for some breakfast and found a beautiful meadow. The 3 Billy Goats Gruff decided to go there, but the only way was over a rickety old bridge. Now, if you don't know what rickety means, it's something that's quite old and worn away and wobbly. But under the bridge lived a terrifying, terrible troll called Trevor. Trevor was an ugly green troll with a fat, warty nose and protruding brown teeth. I wonder if you know what protruding means. So protruding means when something's sticking out. So he had brown teeth that were all sticking out. There was nothing Trevor liked better than to eat this scrumptious, juicy billy goat. The little billy goat and the middle billy goat were the first to reach the bridge. Gingerly, they put their hooves onto the bridge. Trip, trap made the sound on the wooden planks. Suddenly, there was a huge roar. Who's that trip-trapping over my bridge? Out from under the bridge loomed the troll. "It's only us. We're going to look for some grass to eat," squeaked little Billy Goat. "No, you're not. I'm going to eat you," replied the angry troll. "Oh no," said the terrified Middle Billy Goat Gruff. "We're just small goats. Wait for our brother. He's bigger than us and much tastier." So the greedy troll decided to let them pass. After a while, Big Billy Goat Gruff decided it was time to join his brothers. Bravely, he went down to the rickety old bridge and began to cross. Trip tap went his hooves on the wooden plank. All of a sudden, there was another huge roar. "Who's that trip-trapping over my bridge?" he boomed. "It's me, Great Big Billy Goat Gruff. Who are you?" "Who am I?" roared the troll. "I am Trevor Troll, and I'm going to eat you." "Oh no, you're not," replied Great Big Billy Goat Gruff. Without warning, the troll rushed at Big Billy Goat Gruff. However, to his surprise, the goat fearlessly lowered his horns and charged back at him. Bash! Trevor the troll was catapulted into the air before crashing into the rapid stream below. The troll disappeared under the rushing water, and from then on, Trevor the ugly green troll was never seen again. Fantastic. Well done if you were reading along with me. That is going to be our model text for this term. So we are going to be hearing that quite a lot. We're also going to be learning that text off by heart. So I wonder if you were able to spot any of those features before I give you the answers away there. If you do think you might have been able to spot any, like I said the other day, think back to when we did our traditional tales, because some of them might be very similar. Why don't you challenge yourself? Pause the video now. You can always listen back to me reading it again, and maybe see if you can jot down some of those features that you think might have been in there. So do that now, take a couple of minutes and see if you can think of some of those. Okay, let's go through the features together then. So as you can see, I have put it on a toolkit like we're used to using in school. And what I've tried to do as well is just give you a few examples of where that is in the text, okay? So that you understand what each of these features are. The first one is built up suspense. Now, when we're creating suspense in the story, that's when we're creating real tension, real excitement, okay? And a writer will usually use suspense in the story to create that excitement so that the reader is so excited by what they're reading, they desperately want to read on, they're feeling nervous, okay? And they want to know what's going to happen next in the story. There's a few ways as a writer that you can do that, and that's something we're going to be looking at a little bit during this writing unit. So built up suspense is definitely something, definitely a feature that we are going to be looking for in a Defeat the Monster text. So for example, in this bit here, you've got nice short, sharp sentences. So for example, without warning, the troll rushed at Great Big Billy Goat Gruff. However, to his surprise, the goat fearlessly lowered his horns and charged back at him. Okay, so you're creating that excitement as we go through. The next one then, so I haven't got examples of all of them, but the next one is description. We all know what description is. We use description in almost all writing that we do. So that's looking for things like adjectives. You might be expanding those noun phrases as well. We had speech in the text. I wonder if you spotted that one. Now that one was the one that was in our traditional tales one as well. Another one that was in our traditional tales was a good character and a bad character. Now in this one, we've got three good characters, who are the goats, and we've got Trevor the troll, who is the bad character. I wonder if you spotted that one. Interesting verbs to describe movement. Okay, so remembering what a verb is an action word, it's a doing word. Okay, so we're thinking about using interesting ones. Again, this was in our toolkit for traditional tales. So a few examples there, you've got hissed, swung, lunged. Okay, so it's thinking about different words that we could use for that. I've got a few examples here, and I've made them in a different colour so that you can see. Who's that trip-trapping over my bridge? He boomed. Okay, so boomed there. You can see that I've used that word. So rather than saying he said, she said, okay, I've used the word boomed instead of said, just to make that text a little bit more interesting. Who am I? Roared the troll. Okay, so as a reader, I now know how the troll is saying that. He's roared it. So that gives me a really good idea of his character. Oh no, you're not, laughed Great Big Billy Goat Gruff. Okay, so that's, he's laughing because he's sort of thinking, oh no, you're not. The next one then is adverbials. So a lot of the ones in this story will be fronted adverbials, which means they come at the front of those sentences. And this is very similar to how we are building that suspense. And it also helps the reader to follow the story through. So for example, there's an example there, in the blink of an eye, the beast pounced. And I've got a few more examples here. A few moments later, just then, frantically, without warning, okay, and you can see that each of those are followed by a comma. So we'll be using a lot of those when we are writing our Defeat the Monster text. And the final one, this is the one that we see quite a lot in our toolkits, it's that clear structure. So thinking about our story mountain, opening, build up, problem, resolution, and ending. Again, that one was in our traditional tales toolkit. So I wonder then, hold up your list now and compare it to mine and see how many of those features you were able to find yourself. Now, what I'm going to ask you to do today is, because we'll be using this toolkit quite a lot, and if we were in school, as you will well know, what I'd normally do is create a big toolkit up on our flip chart, and that then gets hung up on our washing line, if you remember. And we refer to it quite a lot. So whenever we are doing our writing, we'll be self-editing, checking, have I used that? Have I got interesting verbs? Have I used description? And that's why you've got those little tick boxes down there as well. But what I'd like for you to do today, because we're not in the classroom, we haven't got our washing line, I'd like you to create yourself your own toolkit that you can use over the next couple of weeks. So you can use the one that I've got on the screen here. You don't have to do it exactly like mine. You could create yours in a poster type form, and you could even draw those little boxes on as well, so that when you are editing your work over the next couple of weeks, you can tick those things off, okay? Do it in however way you want, be as creative with it as you want. As you can see, my one, it's got little pictures on it of like pencils and pens and things, as if they were my writing tools. So it's completely up to you how you do it. But myself and Ms. Broadbent would love to see them. Okay, so once you've taken your time and you've created your toolkit poster or your toolkit picture, however you want to do it, do feel free to take a picture of those and email them to us on the Year 2 email addresses. I hope you all enjoy it. Now, there'll be no English lesson tomorrow, because tomorrow should have been our WOW day. However, we are still going to be doing some WOW activities with you. There's no English lesson tomorrow. We've got a few other things lined up to introduce our new Fit for Life topic to you. So I can't wait to see all of your toolkits, and I will see you all soon. Thank you, everyone.